All right, welcome back to another episode of the Black Bullion Show. Labor unions are asking for another 32 billion public bailout so airlines will continue employing workers they no longer need. This request should be denied as it's not only bad for the economy, but for the airline industry. Squandering labor where it's not needed lowers growth. That is a tweet by Peter Schiff. Now, before you raise an eyebrow, I have to say that I actually agree with this. Now, take it from me, a man who was fired just last year due to budget cuts. Uh, the nonprofit that I worked for ran out of money essentially and fired me to lessen its burn rate. And from what I've heard, they're, doing all right now. And by all accounts, I'm doing all right too. I'm making more money at my new job than I could have ever made at my old job. You couldn't like the it's not drastically higher, but it is way higher than I could have gotten if I would have stayed at my old job. Now, my labor wasn't squandered by continuing to work at my old job, and it was redirected into a place where it's better suited for growth. It wasn't suited for growth at my old job. That's why they got rid of me. Now, before we get into this potential bailout that Peter Schiff talks about, just have to say if you're new to this channel, please hit the big red subscribe button right down below. Also, please hit the like button. It helps to get this economic evangelism out there. So, let's take a look. This is from Reuters. U.S. aviation unions ask Congress for $32 billion bailout. So, on the news that the Roni cases have been rising, airline unions are looking ahead. You know, as fears of people retreating back home are pretty much so high that they're appealing to lawmakers to, slide them a cool 32 billion of these guys right here for their payroll. On top of this, check this out. I'm going to read a quick quote here. And I read, under the CARES Act passed earlier this year, Congress gave the aviation sector $32 billion dollars to cover 6 months of payroll through September 30th, hoping that a sharp drop in air travel due to the Ronies would subside by October. But executives have since warned that a recovery to 2019 travel levels could still be 2 years away, forcing the need to lay off employees in the fall without an extension of the payroll support program. And there's a quote here from a union leader. Should October 1st arrive without extending the PSP grant job program, mass layoffs are inevitable, as airline executives have acknowledged, union leaders said in the letter. Now, remember, I've been saying to keep an eye out for the fall, specifically around October. Not having an extension to the payroll support program is one of those reasons why. Payroll in the United States is essentially on life support right now. As layoffs come, especially during a bout of the second wave of the Ronies, we're going to see unemployment shoot to the moon. Pretty much expect evictions, expect foreclosures, etc., etc. You know, so you may be asking, well, okay, Black Bullion, what are you doing to prepare? Well, I've been saying that my personal recession actually happened last year when I was fired. That's when my recession happened. And honestly, I'm glad it happened, and I'm glad it happened when it did, because it actually calloused my mind. Um, I knew that another market correction was coming. Um, Even back in 2019, I just saw the signs. You had the inverted yield curve and all that stuff. Things just looked like it was slowing down. Let alone did I know that the Rays were going to come in, just kick things into hyper gear. But anyway, I told myself that I would finish paying off my debt, one, and that I would shore up an emergency fund, two, when I get my next job. And pretty much from my lips to God's ears, that is what happened. And now, I'm adding, a bit more of the toilet paper, to my emergency fund. And I'm adding, obviously, stacking more of these guys, gold and silver, while I'm doing that. I mean, honestly, let's be honest. Who knows? I may get fired again this year. But the one thing that won't catch me off guard, um, is is that potential, and they won't catch me flat-footed. They won't catch me with my pants down. I'm ready. I'm prepared. Bring it on. So thanks again for watching. Let me know how you have prepared or are preparing for what I experienced last year, what you may possibly experience, which is your own personal recession. Let me know in the comment section below. Let's see if we can exchange some ideas, and hopefully maybe other people will spark some ideas for yourself. Okay, thanks again for watching. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you're new. It's Black Bullion.